We offer our meditation to the benefit of all sentient beings. May they all be happy, may they all be wise, may they all be kind to each other, may they all discover love and beauty. And now we let our hands down and we will do the few warming exercises before meditation. So we will start with the rotation of the head, letting the chin down, rotating the head to the right, slowly, with awareness, feeling that joy of being, the pleasure of moving the body. And now we change the direction, rotating the head to the other side. Again, slowly, with awareness. Keeping that joy of being in our hearts. And we stop, we relax, observing the sensations in our bodies, the relaxation. And we continue with the rotation of the shoulders up to the back, opening the chest, down to the front. Again, we move with pleasure to remove any kind of tension from our shoulders. And we relax, feeling the pleasant sensations in the body, the relaxation in the shoulders. We continue now with the stretching of the back, clasping our hands behind. We exhale, bringing the hands forward. Inhale, getting back. And now We relax. We feel the opening of the chest and the relaxation of the back. And we continue with the stretching to the side. Inhale, raise your arm. Exhale, stretch to the side. Then inhale, raise the other arm. Exhale, stretch to the other side. Again, we stretch with pleasure, like in the morning after a good night's sleep, with that kind of pleasant intensity. Still, we don't force the movement. We just want to stretch. And now we get back relaxed without any kind of tension, joyful, that joy of being. And we continue with the twisting of the spine, rotating to the left and then to the right. And we get back. And now the last warming exercise, twisting and bending. When we bend forward, we bring the right shoulder to the left knee. Then inhale, getting back, left shoulder to the right knee. Inhale, getting back. And now we are ready to meditate. So we sit ourselves in a comfortable position in which we can keep the back straight. Shoulders a little to the back, opening the chest in an open attitude. We find that inner balance between the firmness of the pose and relaxation so that we can remain still for a long period of time, transforming the stillness of the body into the stillness of the mind. We relax our face in an inner smile. The smile brings us serenity, peace. We relax our eyes. We center our awareness in the middle of the chest, a little to the right. That place that we point to when we say I. We try to keep this awareness centered. We let the mind calm down. We can use the breathing to dissolve the mind into the stillness. We use the sensation, the subtle sensations of air touching the nostrils or the chest expanding and contracting in the rhythm of the breathing, the gentle rhythm of air getting in and out. Every time we are aware that our mind is elsewhere, with calm, with perseverance, we bring the mind back into the heart, using the awareness of the breathing. Gradually, we become more aware of those moments in between breathings, at the end of inhalation, just before exhalation starts, or at the end of exhalation, just before inhalation starts. There is a small gap, a moment of pause, of void, in which the mind is suspended, quiet and still in between thoughts, in between breathings. We try to remain there for a second or two. Inhale, pause, exhale, pause. These short pauses help us to become more aware of that inner space of silence, that background of quietness in which thoughts, emotions, sensations appear, remain for a while, and then disappear, and we continue to exist. Inhale, stillness. Exhale, stillness. With each inhalation, we enter into the heart, in that space of the heart. With each exhalation, we surrender into the heart. In this way, every time we breathe, we get closer to ourselves. Inhale into the heart. Exhale, surrender to the heart. In this inner space of the heart, we start Atma Vichara, the introspection, asking ourselves, who am I? The fundamental question. The mind cannot answer because the answer is the existence itself. So we ask the question, we are the answer. Who am I? We use everything that appears in our awareness to get back to this I am feeling. So thoughts, emotions, sensations. Who is the one thinking? Who is the one feeling? Me. Who am I? In this way, we get back again and again to this I am, that answer to the question. I am that becomes a tremor of the heart, a vibrating light so intense that we can just surrender, being without being something or someone, pure existence, pure consciousness, pure bliss. We detach ourselves from the identification with the body, with the senses, with the mind, with our memories, with our desires or fears. Who am I beyond all this? We ask the question, we are the answer. We are consciousness, we are bliss, we are infinite, we are eternal. We are. keeping the awareness of the spiritual heart, the pure I am feeling. We conclude our meditation now. Slowly we open our eyes. So today we will speak a bit about mantra. And this because practicing with a mantra, it's a way to get through all the internal stages of yoga. If you remember, Patanjali doesn't make so much a distinction between concentration, meditation, and samadhi. It's like for him, all these three are together and form what is called samyama. We translate it usually by identification. It's a way in which you can know from the inside, from the essence out, not like usual from the external appearance to the essential one. So for him, all three concentration meditation are one. From the practical point of view, from how we learn them, for sure, first we have to master concentration before we can meditate and we enter samadhi. And for this reason, when we learn them in this order. And this because, if you remember, concentration for Patanjali means to fix, to tie the mind to the object of attention. Then meditation is when the mind flows naturally towards the object of attention. So at first is like an effort. When you concentrate, you have to bring the mind back again and again to the object of attention. But when you start to meditate, then your mind goes there by itself without effort. And sure, samadhi is when the observer disappears, when then just the reality remains. And it's presented like a process. But like I said, for Patanjali, all these are angas. Angas, like in Ashtanga. Ashtanga means with 8 limbs. It's like hands and feet, yes. So they all together make the body of yoga. Even asana, pranayama, pratyahara, and yama and niyama all together make the body of yoga. The yoga with 8 limbs, like hands, feet, head, and such. The extremities of a body. So all this introduction to understand that a lot of practices start in concentration and then they get you to samadhi. Now, sure, it's an interesting thing, and we will speak about samadhi because it's a necessary step to understand what it means and what it is. But there are two ways, two approaches to samadhi. Eliade calls one of them enstasy, and the other one is ecstasy. The difference is that enstasis means to stay in, to discover what is in the essence of your being. And ecstasy means to get out of yourself, to experience your existence beyond the limits of your ego, of your limited consciousness. And Eliade says that yogis usually, because they meditate with the eyes closed and try to know what is their real nature and what is the essence of being, experience ecstasy. So an experience in, but the mystics like Rumi, when they do the whirling dervish dances, or uh, other mystics that have those experiences of ecstasy, they get out of the limits of their egos. But if we speak from the point of view of I don't know, non-duality, tantricism and Advaita Vedanta, there is no difference, because going in the essence of your being, you actually let your consciousness be everything. So you exit your limits, or the limits of your ego. And in the other way, going out by expanding your awareness to the infinity, again, you become, or you arrive at that experience that everything is consciousness. So from this point of view, there is no difference. It's just the way you get there. You get there by introspection or expansion, but the experience at the end is the same. My consciousness is everything, or I am the divine consciousness. So I want you to understand this, because practicing with a mantra can start like a concentration process, and you say the mantra again and again in japa, and you try to awaken in you an energy or another, Mahavidya or Shiva or Ganesha, or I don't know. But if you continue to practice, all these energies are taken you beyond their limited appearance, or defined appearance, to the divine consciousness. And this process, we can understanding the levels of the word. And for sure, I told you about this in different times, but it's a beautiful thing to understand and get back again and again, because it's so marvelous. So from the old times, speaking, uttering words was like a kind of magic. For us now, it's just speaking. We don't think about too much. But if you think about a little more, or you meditate a bit, words are magic, because words create reality. When you hear someone tell you a story, you actually experience a reality created by that story. Yeah, when you read, for example, you read a book, you are transported into that story that is created by your mind just seeing the words. And when someone tells you a story, or what happened in his day or life, you again experience something that you didn't experience until that moment. Your mind reacts to the words, creating a reality. So you see how from the old times words were seen like magic. You know, in the Bible, in the Genesis, uh, it's that thinking which uh, it said that uh, God had said, "Let be light," and then was light. Yes. So it's like uh, God creates by saying something, yeah, by uttering the words. And in other way, in other place, and God said, "Let be uh, something in the middle of the waters to separate waters from waters," and now He created the land, and so was it. And in a in a lot of places, like, God says something and that becomes the reality. Or also in the New Testament, in the Gospel of John, uh, that Gospel of John starts by, "At the beginning was the Word, and the Word was with God, and God was the Word." Such a powerful statement. Yes. And also in the tradition of, I don't know, in Romania, it's very interesting how, for example, for the same reason of this power of the word, uh, in the countryside, the old ladies and gents avoided to say the name of uh, Satan. Yeah, they don't say Satan. They don't say the devil. They say uh, the one that goes nowhere, or the one that is killed by the church bell. So, uttering something that removes that reality from existence, that erases that reality from existence. So they express their desire that that thing, that evil, doesn't exist anymore. Because if you say its name, you call him to you. And for this reason, they avoid to say the bad word. And sure, it's the same with other words that express uh, bad realities or bad things. They avoided to speak ill of something or someone, or to use uh, words that are not nice, because they think by saying them you invoke that reality. And sure, this is a beautiful thing to understand, because for sure, for the mind, the words have this power. So if you speak to someone with harsh words and uh, bad words, or ugly words, in yourself and in that person, you create a ugly reality, a bad reality. But if you speak beautifully, using beautiful words, and calling upon beautiful things, speaking of joy, of beauty, of amazement, then you awaken those reality in the mind of the people that listen to you and in yourself. So when in yoga we speak about saucha, of purity, that purity implies this proper using of words and thoughts, because usually the thoughts are just this kind of realities, and these levels of the word help us to understand why. And sure, today speaking about mantras, I wanted to say to to express to you this point of view of yoga and Shaivism uh, that speak of these qualities that arise from using properly, using words. So remember, in this tradition, there are four levels of the word, and they usually describe the levels of the word in the creative direction. So from the highest to the lowest. And you will see in the case of mantra, we go backwards from the lowest to the highest. But let's go in this creative direction. So the highest level, you remember, it's called Paravak, is the supreme word. And this level is pure consciousness, pure divine consciousness, in which all the letters, all the words, all the things are in that divine consciousness undifferentiated. So they are there, but they are not separated. Because, again, there is all the reality. So this is Paravak, is the divine in that absolute form of transcendence in which there is no differentiation. But this is the origin of all the possibilities of all the words. And then in this appears, in this consciousness, appear the desire to manifest something, to create something. Is this pure intention? If you remember from Mahavidya, you remember which Mahavidya is the intention, the pure intention of God to create? No? You remember? Sundari, yes, Tripura Sundari is Icha Shakti, the desire of God to create. But it's first just the intention to create. And this level, it's called Pashyanti, which means visionary. You have a vision of what you want to create. Is this pure intention? But for sure, it's just this intention. Nothing is appeared yet. But having this desire to manifest, to create, it's again like you have this vision. I want to, I don't know, the usual metaphor is that you are a painter and you want to create a painting. So you have the intention, but you don't know what it will be. You just have the intention, the vision that you will create something. And then there is the so-called middle level of the word, Madhyama. Madhyama means exactly that, in the middle. So it's like in this middle level, which in our being, it's usually the mind, appear different possibilities. So, for example, I want to speak to you about, I don't know, mantras like today. I had this intention in the morning. I had that vision that I will speak you about the mantras. Yes, this is the Pashyanti, this is the visionary. But I didn't know exactly what I will tell you about mantras, yes? So after I had this vision, this intention, I start to think. And this is the middle level. I start to have different ideas. I can tell you about that, or I can tell you about that, different ways. But then the last level, it's called Vaikari, which actually means the embodied word, the word that becomes embodied, that has a body, yeah, incarnated word. And that is the moment in which I started to speak to you. Yes. So when I started to speak to you, all the things that I had in the mind and my intention becomes manifest. So getting back to the energies, after I had Icha Shakti, after I had that intention, then I had the knowledge, what I can say, and yeah, the thing that I was thinking. I will not ask you which Mahavidya is the knowledge. Yeah, it's Bhuvaneshwari is the energy of the space, because space means that capacity to embrace everything, and this is knowledge. And then when I speak, when I actually speak, this is Kriya Shakti, this is the energy of action, which is the Mahavidya of Tripura Bhairavi. So you see how the word come from that from that divine consciousness, first as an intention, that visionary aspect, then as the knowledge, as the middle point in which are different possibilities, and then as Vaikari, which is the embodied word, the moment in which the word, or whenever I want to create, manifest and becomes reality. So this is the way in which everything is created. Sure, in the case of the word is metaphorically, in the case of the world that is around us is reality, yes. So sure, there is a kind of way in which in Shaivism these levels are the letters of the alphabet that are the basis of anything. Then there is these are called varna in Sanskrit. Then we have mantras, which are syllables or words, and then we have padas, propositions. So letters creates words, words create propositions. It's like in speech. You have all the letters, but until you create words, those letters doesn't have too much significance. Even when you create words, those words, that if they are not organized in a proposition, doesn't have any signification. If I don't speak the words in a proper way, you don't understand me. Yes. So you see how when you speak, you have to have the energies, which are the letters, organize those energies in a way that creates a concept, yes, and then organize those concepts to create proposition, to create an object, a complex object. But when we use the mantra, we go the other way. We have the embodied word, we have the mantra, yes. And you saw when we practice with Mahavidyas, we start by saying with loud voice the mantra. And then we continue in Madhyama, in that middle ground. Why it's Madhyama? Because we continue to say in our mind the mantra, but in the same time we start to feel the energy of the mantra, the vibration of consciousness, that nada, that vibration of silence, yes? So in the middle ground we have the word and the energy in the same time, and we start to feel them together. And for sure is not just the word and the energy, is also the specificity of that energy. Because if we say, I don't know, if we say let's get a general example. You see the mantra Aum. The mantra Aum is used in different contexts. So in Yoga Sutras, the mantra Om, it's the mantra by which you reach the reality of God, of Ishvara. In Yoga Sutras, Patanjali says Aum is the name of God. If you want to call God to you, you say Om because it's his name. It's like, I don't know, I say Sophia and Sophia knows that I refer to her. Yes. Or that if I say Marie Claire knows that I call her to me. Or Teresa means that I speak with Teresa. Om is the name of Ishvara, of God, is the proper name because it's a powerful energy. Yes. But in the same time, Om is used for Mahavidya of compassion, of Tara. Yes. So you see that it's not enough just to use this kind of powerful mantra. You have to have also the intention by which you use that mantra. Because let's say I'm in a room with 2 or 3 persons that are called Sophia. Yeah. So if I don't look specifically to this Sophia and I just say Sophia, all the Sophias will look at me. Yes. So I have to be specific to which one I address my calling. And Patanjali names this bhavana. You remember, I told you when we spoke about bhavana. So you have to keep in your mind whom are you calling? Yes. So that your energy will get you, the energy of the mantra will get you there. But this is only the Madhyama level. When you have this kind of mixed energies and words. When you reach Pashyanti, that is the level of the divine consciousness, because you will see in the writings between Pashyanti and Paravak, there is not so much a difference. Pashyanti is the immanent aspect, Paravak is the transcendent aspect. So if you continue to say the mantra and you start to be aware of that vibration of consciousness, of that nada, that sound of silence, then you dissolve into the divine consciousness. There is no Ishvara, there is no Tara, there is only Brahman or only God or only, I don't know, Shiva Shakti. There is no difference. So you start with a word that you say with loud voice as a method of concentration. Then you start to feel the energy specific to your practice. So it can be Ishvara, it can be Tara and such. But then if you continue to go on the path of the word, you reach the divine consciousness. So it's like the middle ground is the meditation stage, and then Pashyanti is the samadhi stage, in which there is only the reality of the divine consciousness. So you see why the mantras were very important as a practice in India, but not only, because all the traditions have a practice that is similar to mantras. So in Islam, for example, is using the names of God. And there are different names of God, and you say those names of God again and again and again. In Hebrew tradition, I think there you use the quality of God, the beautiful, the right, the merciful, and such and such. In Christianity, you have the prayers, like prayer of the heart or other prayers that you say again and again and again in the same way. You say the prayer not just to, because sure, you don't say, please God give me money or something like this. Yeah, is that kind of prayer that gets you to the level of the divine consciousness. And first you just say the words, and then saying the words something awakens in your heart, and then you reach that divine consciousness. So in a lot of places we discover the same process of using this repeated saying of a word to get to a higher level of consciousness, because saying the word again creates a reality for your mind, and that reality of your mind becomes the reality itself. Yes, so it's a very important process. And another aspect, sure, everything can be explained again and again and in different ways, but we are in the stage in which we just put the foundation for the practice, and I want to just to understand why they are this so important, and when you use them or practice with a Mahavidya, to understand that it can get you to the highest experience. It's not just, I want to practice with, I don't know, Tara, because I told you, because I have some hardship in my life and I want the compassion of the Tara to help me escape that hardship or that troubles or that problems. If you practice enough, you get to the divine consciousness, because all these Mahavidyas, for example, are just aspects of the divine consciousness. Yes, it all of them gets you to that supreme energy of consciousness, Parashakti. Now, another beautiful thing that they have in Shaivism, but not only, is that explanation of the significance of letters. The Sanskrit language is a sacred language, is created specifically to explain the way in which everything is created by the energies of the letters. So Sanskrit is not a language that people speak between them to, I don't know, gossip or tell about the weather or what is fashionable or something. So it's a language created expressly to speak about consciousness, about divine or philosophy and such. And in the Sanskrit alphabet, there are 16 vowels, and then 34 consonants. There are 50 letters in total. Yes, 50 letters in total, 16 vowels, and the rest are consonants. And each of the letters signifies a type of energy. The vowels signify Shiva, the consciousness. The consonants signify Shakti, the energy. And you see the beauty of this metaphor. You cannot speak without having Shiva and Shakti together, creating the reality, the words, by uniting themselves. Each word contains vowels and consonants. And also the consonants cannot be uttered without A. A in, I don't know, in English, I. No, A. A, B, A. So A. In Romanian, it's A. But in Sanskrit, you cannot say a consonant without A. So you cannot say Shakti without Shiva. So they say B, for example, B is Ba, C is Ka, and so on, Da, and so on. If there is nothing after a consonant, then is pronounced with an A. So Shiva, the consciousness, it's always there when you speak. Even if there is no sign, specific sign for the A, it's there. If there is another vowel, then A is not pronounced. So if it's an E or U and such, then you don't pronounce A because the Shiva is present in another form. Now, A has two forms, a short A and a long A. The short one is more like an O, very short, and A, it's open and long. So these two A's, one, the short one is the consciousness, the long one is the bliss, the ecstasy. So you see the bliss and consciousness, you know, when we see I'm consciousness and bliss without form, consciousness and bliss, it's always there when you speak, metaphorically. We are not aware of it, but it's always there. And then the other letters, the other vowels, fundamental vowels, are E. Again, E has two variants, the short E and the long E, which is the energy of Icha, which is peaceful Icha and agitated Icha. So first is a enthusiastic desire, but then is a peaceful desire to create. And then we have U, again, two forms, short U and long U, which is the energy of, it's called Unmesha. It's like a wave that it's about to expand. So it's like a hesitation. Will I manifest, go into the duality or not? And then from these three vowels are created the next vowels. So from A and E, it's created E. Then from A and U is created O, and so on and so forth. And each of these creates another manifestation of Shiva as an consciousness that expands to the point of creation. And the creation starts with consonants that are the tattvas. And you see, there is this kind of beautiful metaphor of when you speak, you create the presence of the divine consciousness. And for sure, if you keep mauna for a while, that silence, you feel this kind of thing when you start to speak again. You feel this powerful thing that is speaking. And for sure, it helps you to be more mindful of what you will say. And I think we speak in English, and is not our language. When you speak a language that is not yours, you have to be more mindful of what you will say, and it's another thing. It's another way to be more aware of this. I was, you know, that we have just today we finished the Tripura Bhairavi here in St. Petru, and we held it in English. So I helped Simona with Hatha Yoga, and I practice with them Hatha Yoga. And what I experienced is that because I had to give the lessons in English, I was using more beautiful words that I usually use in Romanian, because being aware of what I want to say, I was trying to convey, to say uh, things that I felt in my heart, and then I used more beautiful words that I usually use in Romania when I am just used to say, and I'm not so much aware. So it's it's a important lesson to take, and sure, I was like, it was for me like a thing that, oh, next time when I give a lesson in Romanian, I have to use more beautiful words. So if you have any questions now.
So I was thinking that when we repeat a mantra, it's important that we know that the meaning of the mantra,
Yes.
but it has so many meanings.
Yes, but you
So
can focus on what is important for you, you
okay,
know, and that kind of energy will be more readily available to you. So sure, when you I don't know, practice with the mantra of Tara, because I give this example. So you want something specific to achieve, yes, and you think or you keep in your mind that Tara, the power of compassion, of is the guiding star or something, uh, will help you to get there. And you keep in mind, it's not that you think specifically to that, but it's like a feeling, because this is the reason that it's used bhavana. It's like an intuition, like a mystical intuition of what you want to achieve or where you want to go. So it's like, imagine that you want to get to, I don't know, in Funchal, you want to get to the cathedral in the middle, yes? You don't have to think about, I want to get to cathedral, I want to get to cathedral. You just have that intention and that mental image of where you want to go, and then you will find the way to get there. Yeah, maybe you will take one route, but I don't know, you feel to go by the sea, or you want to go by the shortest route, or I don't know. But even indifferent of what route you take, you have that mental intuition of where you want to go. Sure, sure. It's just the ending. We just, yes. So, Virginius. This is the way in which mantra works, yes? And not just mantras, the prayers, the suggestions, the positive suggestions, you are working in this way by not creating stories about what you want or how you want, but keeping this uh, pure intention and this intuition of where you will be. Sure, in the case of I don't know, samadhi or the divine consciousness, you will say, but I don't know, because I wasn't there and I don't know where it is. Yes, it's not like the cathedral in the middle of Funchal. I don't know. I didn't wear to the divine, but it's like an intuition. I will know when I will be there, and then my steps are guided to reach that point, even if I don't know exactly where. Yes, but I have to have this kind of intention of it's intention and intuition in the same time. I want to go there, but I feel that I will uh, get there, and I know I will get there. It's like faith in a way, you know. Having faith is not about knowing, but knowing exactly, but knowing that you will go there, you will reach that point. And yeah, okay, so we
makes
will,
sense.
yeah.
Thank you very much.
Um, Next weeks I will be in Greece, and I will try to do the lessons. Uh, I will try the internet there. I hope it works well enough for us to continue to meet. I was last year there, so I managed to do, that we have each week, Friday in the morning, an hour of meditation that is transmitted usually from St. Petru. It's like Monday is from Mazunte in Mexico, Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, no, Wednesday. Wednesday is from Longeval, and Friday from St. Petru. And I managed to do this from there. So I think the internet will be good. But if something goes wrong, I'm sorry, and we'll see. So have a nice evening, and see you next time.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Thank you, Sabat.